Hey gamers, welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. Hope you've been having a wonderful week. So we put a long video out, some very in-depth videos about how to get silver, how to get unlimited silver. Okay, now when you're wondering, well, how do you get unlimited silver? There is no quick way to do that. I'm going to try to make this video as quick as possible, but understand it's going to require some effort on your behalf. So step one, you're going to want to get some silver to get started with. The first thing you need to do is be farming around, saving your silver. Stop spending silver on stuff. That's your first step. Stop spending silver. Then we're going to come over here to the upgrades. One of the trees you need to start working on very beginning is the helm. Both legs. Not just one, not just the other, both legs. The reason you want to do both these legs is because there's a lot of materials you need to be getting as far as the raw materials. And that's going to allow you to begin using distilleries and your laboratory into Lock Panjara. So we're going to show you what that opens up once you get that completed in the helm. It's going to open up supply deals, which are roving. Those are the ones where you blow up the rover and you get the product for free. Do those. Do not spend silver on these at all. Once you've completed that helm, as I said before, you're going to come up here. You're going to look for fort plunders. You're going to look for rogue hunts. You're going to go hunt down convoys. Not only are you going to get sugarcane from that, but this here is an Ills fleet, so you're going to get Ills twine from that fleet. People ask, hey, how do I get Ills twine? Well, you can craft it, or you can just farm it from these guys. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just answering the questions that I see a lot. Fort plunders. So here we can get that raw Imperial Jade. You can up that into a finished product as well. I like to keep it raw form. It works great to boost certain factories. Sugarcane, we can get sugarcane from them. Again, jade, rogue hunt again for tobacco leaves. A fort plunder for 330 sugarcane. Here's the fort plunder for 500 tobacco leaves. Here's the fort plunder for 500 juniper berries. Now these fort plunders can be ran in tier 1 or tier 2. It's not going to pay you anymore to be in tier 2, so just do it in tier 1 and have fun with your friends, or run it solo. It's really not that hard, but those will get you your raw products. Then you have to bring your raw products over here and start your distillery. Like I said, it costs silver to start producing from raw to the very first grade of White Skull products. So we're going to go ahead and take some of the stuff in. We've already got our trees filled up, so we're not going to be able to queue anything else up right at the moment. But it's going to take silver to do that. And you also need pieces of 8 to do your trees. And you may be wondering, okay, so silver, I can get that, but what's a good way to do silver? You may be wondering. Well, go to your codex. I'm going to show you the easiest way. Go to codex under the knowledge tab. You're going to come down here to the let's find it, Mega Corporation commodity, and then track brandy. This is going to sell pretty good, get you a good start. You're going to be able to get quite a bit of this. Just farm up. You're going to be getting silver. You're going to be getting brandy to sell as well. Now this path here that I've got that's now lit up yellow here, see where it's got brandy? This is the international trade route. This is where the brandy is going to run all up down this line. Now I will tell you, it typically right up in this vicinity here is where you're going to come across the most ships. However, you can run across them down south. You can run across them up north. So whichever side you want to start on, I do recommend that you go ahead and run it. Now, it seems to me that the ships are running in a loop starting down the South Passage and running up. So I would imagine you want to start down here at Mother Shipwrecks or down here at Fort Lewis and just run this whole path and run and get your silver. And as you get up here, then you can, guess what? That's right, fast travel back down, or just turn around and farm it again, because they might have crossed in behind you. Up to you how you want to do it. That's going to get you silver. It's going to get you brandy. Then you're going to take and sell that brandy at Cobb Mangrove to get your silver to get started. For your pieces of 8, you can run this in tier 1 or tier 2. Tier 2, you're going to get extra ships to farm to get extra pieces of 8. Tier 1, Mega Fort Houston will pay you 2,200 or 2,000 pieces of 8 to finish it. It ranges between 2,000 and 2,200. It's not an exact, but if you run all stages, you should make at least 2,000 pieces of 8. If you run that in tier 2, you're going to run into those Prince ships with the smoke coming off of the stacks. That's going to give you extra 8s for every one of those ships that you sink as well in tier 2. Like I said, up to you if you want to run it in tier 1 or tier 2. You can do it either or. I do recommend that you do that, though. And it's not hard to get that going. All you have to do is wait for someone to queue it up, or go over and shoot the walls and then ask for help, and everyone's going to show up and help take this stuff down. Does not take long. Tier 2, very easy. Jump in a healer ship, show up in location when people are sitting there. Typically, you can come up here, just fast travel to the ruined lighthouse, sit out here in your boat, be looking through your scope for when people are coming up. They're always farming this thing, constantly farming it. Not hard to do. Of course, you can also work on building up your helm. If you'll look here, one of the things I've got is the auto claim territories. I've got all the territories, but those were the first ones I got. And the reason I did that is so I could just come in and claim those territories. Now we do also have ships that can pick up across the borders, so I do recommend doing that as well, building you some ships that can pick up everything. So now upgrade. Here's where the trick is. Once you get the pieces of 8, decide which one you want to do first. Do you want to do the skull products as far as the gold skull gin and rum, or do you want to do the laboratory? And you can do all of them at the same time, but pick which one you want to work on first. The reason why is Campaigning Royale, you're going to come up, you want to stick to the outer leg. Eventually you want to do them all, but this outer leg right here is gold skull gin production. That's how you're going to be able to make gold skull gin. You're sitting there, the question always comes up, how do I make from white to gold? Right there. Now, then of course there is the Clan of Farah. The upper tier here, if you follow this path, right here is your gold skull rum production. This allows you to refine from white skull to gold skull. And each of these costs pieces of 8, guys. Remember that, so you need to be farming up some 8s. Over here again, you have the Dominion Arimpa sticking to this outer leg here. Black Lotus opium production. That's how you're going to be able to do from the blue to the black. Then of course the DMC, or Dutch Merchant Company. We have that whole tree just about finished now, but Empire Administration, the lower one here, silver snuff production, allows us to go from black snuff to silver snuff. Now once you have that done and you're kicking off those advanced products, remember, and this is very, very important, anything that comes off the distillery, we're talking gold skull rum or gold skull gin, that sells to Skurlock. It's going to sell for 250 silver per piece. Now it does not take long to get this stuff up. It is a very minimum investment when it comes to silver to really turn in a very heavy profit. And we went from, I made a video here the other day where I sold off all the products that I had built already, and we went from, I think we were at 100 million to 48 million, or 148 million is where we ended up at. So it adds up very quickly. And then when it comes to the snuff and the opium, sell that to Rima over at Talak Panjar. She's going to pay the most. They pay 250. When you look at it, if it's saying 125, either you're on your first stage product trying to sell it, or you're in the wrong location trying to sell to the wrong person. So I hope that's going to explain this to you. I don't know how to make it any simpler than that or any faster. Understand it's not going to happen overnight. You have to work it, you have to grind it. This is the grinding game, and that you are building a kingdom, you're building an empire. There was no quick, easy route to this. This all comes from hard work. I've put out a lot of videos showing every stage and showing exactly how to do it. Hours upon hours of me showing you how to do this, and then everybody said, well, that video just took way too long. Well, sorry it took too long, but it takes a little bit to build it to the point that we're at now. Understand, this is from weeks of grinding since the release of year 2. So you're going to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. Have a wonderful day.